Tick tock, tick tock. It's so crucial in these days to connect the dots. You got to connect the dots to begin to see what's going on. George Fraser was renowned for being able to pull the power movers, the folks that are making power, blacks that are making power moves together, and they called it a Power Networking Conference. And one of the big things he was always promoting is to connect the dots. You see the facts, connect the dots. So let's do some dot connecting, shall we? Some dot connecting. In the Bush, let's see. I'm going to go through some presidential times. Yeah, gosh. In the Bush times. Let's go with the Daddy Bush. Daddy Bush used to be in the CIA, remember? He used to be one of the heads in the CIA. Matter of fact, if you look it up, he owns the patent to synthetic it's a drug black folks hardly ever take, but white folks use a lot. In the 670s. Oh, the drug will come to my mind, but he owns a patent to this drug. A synthetic. Anyway, I asked, how did he own the patent? He ain't a chemist. Well, what happened was they busted a lab, and they found out that they couldn't even put the people away because the drug had just been invented, so there wasn't a law against it. So what did he do? He took the patent. He took the patent and he patented it. He patented the process. Bush, drug maker? Yeah. Well, he held the patent for it. Let's go on. Let's look at Reagan. What did Reagan do? They dumped crack in the community, but Reagan said there was a crack epidemic before they had even dumped it. They put a crack war against the blacks before they even dumped the crack in it. Matter of fact, they had, the Contra, in the Reagan era, they had the Contra thing where they were selling drugs for guns and bringing the drugs into the black communities. The CIA, who was over in Europe after Soviet Union fell, where did they get sent? They didn't even get a vacation. They got sent straight to California, Bloods and Crips. Why aren't the lawyers freeing the Bloods and Crips? Because it's a government conspiracy that had them entrapment. That's entrapment. That's why we think Johnny Cochran was killed, because days before Johnny Cochran was killed, he was talking about how most black people in Georgia's criminal system should be freed because of XYZ, and then they took him out. See, too many times, and the black leadership will find something that could free us and then hold it behind us, not tell the black people yet, but tell the white folks, if you don't do thus and that, I'll release this information. They're too stupid to realize they'll kill you quick. They'll kill you quick. Let the information out right now. Don't try to negotiate with these genetically recessive world enders. Why do I say that? Because I want you to connect these dots. In Obama's administration, he killed Gaddafi. Gaddafi was the leader of the only fucking nation that was debt-free. The only nation that wanted to equal the playing field and create the golden dinar so that the European nations would have to use gold that they've stole to get the resources that they need today. Brilliant plan. What better way to get your money back, get your gold back? Obama killed him. Hillary Killer Clinton killed him. And joyfully remarked about it. You saw her? Now let's go to Biden. Okay, so Gaddafi had a solution to bring equality and was killed. Every leader in America who tries to bring equality to America is killed, bar none. Now, I could stay on each of these presidents for days, but we don't have that kind of time. So let me jump to this creepy Biden. You know, they used to call him Creepy Biden. Then he became president and they had to change that, so then they called him Sleepy Biden. But he's sleepy and creepy. But what did he do? Biden started funding Ukraine, all this money to Ukraine. Matter of fact, Obama even took, what was it, $14 million over to Ukraine? But Russia was saying that Ukraine was a chemical plant production, and they wanted it out. America said, no, it's not. No, we don't have any knowledge of that. And then Russia took the town that the laboratory was in, and then what America say? We're afraid that they may have some chemical war. They may have taken some chemical labs now. We're in danger. All you get from them when they open their mouth, prepare for a lie. If they even tell you the truth, take it like a kiss, a chocolate kiss. If I give you a chocolate kiss, a Hershey's, excuse me. If I give you a Hershey's chocolate kiss, are you just going to throw it in your mouth, or are you going to take the wrapper off first? You'd be a child. You'd be an ignorant child to put that aluminum foil in your mouth, and all children have done it. No, you take the chocolate out the wrapper, hope there's no poison in it, and you eat it. And the same thing applies when we're telling you the truth. You may not like the wrapper. You're not required to eat the wrapper. You're required to ingest the truth. So here, Biden not only gave Biden and Barack gave millions of dollars and billions now to Ukraine. Ukraine has a Nazi party. They're so in support. Now, there was a war fought over the fucking Nazis, man. Russia, more people died from Russia to fight Nazis than anybody else. Russia paid the highest toll. Russia don't like Nazis. Why does Biden in America like Nazis? Good question. He likes them so much, he gave the Ukraine immigrants our Social Security. Now just imagine that. You have to work you work all your life for Social Security and then gotta fight to get it. He just gave them your Social Security. I said, well, you know, they're gonna need something. So I gave them yours. What a white mentality. Is that a right mentality or just a white mentality? Is that a white mentality or is that a fascist, Zionist, and Nazi mentality? To give Nazis from another land our Social Security, is that a Nazi mentality? You would have to say yes. Okay, it's a Nazi mentality. Okay. So paying for Israel's every goddamn thing, that ain't the same fucking mentality? You know, when they build homes in Israel, our money funds bomb shelters underneath their house. So first they make a bomb shelter, then they build a house, and they ain't paying for shit. Do you know that we're paying for the IDF's retirement funds? Do you realize that AIPAC controls 97 out of 100 senators? They fund 97 out of 100 senators. And you think America is in control of its Congress? of its government? How many billions every year? Every fucking year. And then when they want to bomb something, we give them bombs for free. You think you in control? You think you're a citizen? No, fucking Israel is the citizen. They're the number one. You ain't number one, Mr. White Man. Israel's number one. You got booted out of number one in America. Israel's now number one. The Jewish state is number one in America. What's number two? White racist. Well, don't call them white racist, Anthony. Call them something else. Euphemize it. Okay, fascist. Yeah, that's better. We don't know what that means. Okay, so you got the Zionists in control, number one. Undoubted proof. Again, if you think I'm lying, $, People's Justice Fund, put the dollar in, prove me wrong, I'll send you $10. So you got the fascists, you got the Zionists. Well, you got number one, you got Zionists in control, followed fast by the fascists who are manipulated. They're the yes sir, flip the buttons, fund the war, because Israel wants a whole fucking region now, so they're gonna fight everybody. And then you got the other group. You got the Zionists, you got the fascists, and you got the racists. Okay, let me ask you. When has the United States government cleared or vetted out the Klan from its government office positions? Never happened. It's never happened. Matter of fact, when the number one racist movie came out, it was played in the White House first. It was promoted from the White House. So, prove me wrong that this nation isn't number one, Zionist control, number two, fascist control, number three, racist control. Can you prove that? Let's put some money on the table, folks. These are hard words. These are hard sayings. But until you pluck your head out your own ass or their ass, you'll never see what it's like to be in open air. You're in a gas chamber, called up their asshole in a gas chamber, thinking that that's fresh air. That's not fresh air. So, how can we begin to get out this thing? Well, if men actually had their children still, it'd be an easy equation. Because a daddy don't want their child to grow up be a slave, even if the daddy was a slave. We know that history. You have people who were forcibly enslaved, and they didn't want it for their child, so they taught their child not to be a slave. But see, today, they fooling you to think you ain't a slave, that you're a citizen. You ain't a slave, you're a citizen. Same goddamn difference, man. If you don't enjoy the rights and privileges of citizenry, you ain't a citizen. Yeah. Goddamn step and fetch it with an ego. So if we're in this condition, and we are certainly in this condition, I know some of you may say, we're not in a condition, we got black millionaires and billionaires, man, what you talking about? Yeah, but them black goddamn millionaires and billionaires ain't buying, they're not creating nothing for their people. Now, there's a couple exclusions, like Reverend Floyd Flake. Reverend Floyd Flake was a pastor, and he built some stuff, senior citizen complexes and all kind of stuff. But that's the outlier. That's not the norm. What's the norm? The norm is every institution that was built to help black folks has been corrupted. Look at the Black Congress. Look at them. Now read what their purpose is. So you looked at them and you got warm, flush feelings. You felt good about it. Now read what their purpose is. Read what the purpose of the Hispanic Coalition is. It's to support and improve the conditions of Hispanics. Read what the condition of what the rules to the Japanese American Coalition is. It's to improve the condition of the people of Japanese Americans. Now read what the fucking Black Coalition's purpose is. It's to improve the condition of all people. So how is every other minority group's position to improve their position, and the Black Congress is to improve everybody's condition? You just deluded yourself. You're deluded. You're going in every way. While the people who's passing you are focusing on their folks. You know, there's two things I'm not against, and this is going to be a shocker. There's two things I'm not against. I'm not against suicide, and I'm not against neutralizing your enemy. I'm not against that at all. I'm not the one to say forgive your enemies. If you want to forgive your enemies, make sure you understand that you forgive your enemies to improve your own stasis. You forgive them to release some shit that is harming you, that's corroding the internal health of yourself. That's really the only reason to really forgive a fucking enemy, man. Is to improve. It's that amazing grace. You know, you forgive your enemies, and what happens is this amazing grace is taking over inside of you and healing the wrong that's been done to you. That's the only fucking reason to forgive your fucking enemies. Other than the esoteric metaphysical theory that we all must experience everything we've done to people, you know, the karma. We've got to experience that, so we might have to come back as an asshole because you was an asshole to somebody. Or you might have to, white folks might have to come back as a slave. Wouldn't that be his trip? I bet you'd be screaming for better conditions for slaves then. So let it be. So the issue keeps coming back to, are you a citizen? No. But if you keep saying you want to be, you keep saying defiantly, I'm a citizen, you're eliminating all of the powers and keys that will unlock your freedom. You're leaving the keys to your freedom on the floor, at the curb, by the door. Because none of the avenues to freedom comes through you being a citizen of the very people who's trying to eliminate you. Okay? It won't come that way. It can't come that way. It can't come that way. So what you gonna do? I suggest that you begin to consider that you're not a citizen. Look at the treatment you've endured. You're not a citizen. I don't even want to bring up our sisters, but 300,000 black females were kicked out of government in the beginning of the Trump administration. Now, I think that's very interesting. And here's where I'm about to lose about 90% of our black sisters who have been listening so far. About to lose you. See you. The government orchestrated the destruction of the black family. At the same time, orchestrated the strengthening of the white family. They gave blacks welfare and went into the houses saying you can get welfare if you don't have a man. They went into the white suburbs and said, we'll give you some land and teach you how to be a husband to that land, and you can keep your husband. Didn't tell the white woman she had to get rid of her man. They didn't say that. You got, no. Go to suburbs now. King talks about it, that at the same time they were doing this welfare, kicking black men out, they were in the suburbs, giving away land and teaching them how to manage the land. Right? That's what they did.